Hey there, Regina Andler here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. We are at that time of year again. It's the last month of the year. Are you ready for 2026? Well, for those who have been in business for a long time, you understand the necessity of planning for the new year. For most of us, some just kind of like fly by the seat of our pants, right? And I'll tell you right now, as a seasoned business owner, planning does work. Some people say, you know what? I got some stuff going on. I'm just going to see how it turns out in the new year. Don't do that. I'm here to tell you that a little bit of planning can go a long way. Now, why do people shy away from training or from planning? Sorry, shy away from planning because it can feel hard. It can feel like a chore. Um, they don't know what to plan, or they have it in their head that they have to have the answers all the time. And here's the thing, when it comes to planning, the mindset that you need to go in with is whatever you plan for is very likely going to shift at some point during the new year. So if you plan your 2026 out, don't think that I made this plan and this is how it's going to go. Make the plan to help focus you and guide you through the year with the understanding that as you set goals, there will be things that change. It could be maybe the market changes, maybe your industry changes, maybe a tool or something that you were doing changes, some product that you had, there's some shift in the product. You know, everything is cyclical. So things change on a regular basis, and change is good. Change is actually should be an inspiration and a driver for you to keep you focused and creative and energetic about what you're doing. If everything was the same all the time, it gets kind of boring. So change is actually good. And when you think about planning for an entire year, things are going to change. So go in with that mindset. And I'm here to give you a few simple tips on how to make this planning a little bit easier for you to get started, especially if you're one of those people who said, well, I'm not much of a planner. I'm just kind of a fly by the seat of my pants kind of person. And, you know, like I said, that doesn't really work. Not if you want to really be successful. And what better time to set a goal for being successful than the beginning of the new year? Start your year off right. And now is the time to be planning. If you haven't started it already, now is the time. So, first thing to look at is what were your 2025 goals? What did you plan for this year? It's now December. Did you plan for something to happen this year that happened, or maybe didn't happen, or maybe shifted? Maybe you planned on doing something and then something else came up, and all of a sudden you shifted your focus. What were those things? What were your goals in 2025? What things did you hit? What marks did you hit that you wanted to? And what things weren't quite right yet? Which ones are things that you still want to accomplish, but aren't quite right yet? And you know, at the end of the year, it's not a bad thing. This year is what it is. This day is what it is. This moment is what it is. Wherever you are right now is where you are. Every single moment is the perfect moment to start planning the next. So, what is working? What's not working? And take that what is working, where do you want it to go in 2026? What do you want to do with that? Do you want to have, if you have an offer, do you want to change that offer up? Do you want to add more clients to it? Do you want to bring more people into your world? Maybe you have a product and the product is doing well, but it's kind of whittling off. Is there a new product line that you want to launch in the new year? What do you want to do with what you already have? Start there. Start thinking about, where are you right now? If you're just starting out, where do you want to be a year from now? So the first thing to do is to pick 3 main goals, not 10, not 15, not even 5. 3 main goals, the 3 big goals. What do you want for 2026? At this time of year, next year, what do you want to say you've accomplished for 2026? Pick 3 goals. Your brain, it works better if you don't give it too much clutter. So don't give it too many goals to work on. Just pick those 3. And then take each one of those goals and break it down into monthly steps. So if you were going to look at it, if you're just starting out on a brand new goal, you might have a goal that you were working on in 2025 that didn't quite finish yet. So maybe one of your goals for 2026 is to complete that goal. Or maybe it's a fresh new goal and you want to start out. Maybe you're launching a new program in January and you want to start there. So there's some pre-stuff that needs to be done, then you launch it. Each month there's something new that needs to be done. Break it down into the monthly steps that you need to accomplish to actually make that goal a reality. Again, your brain works better when it's given some direction. Otherwise, you're squirreling all over the place. And we don't want to be squirreling all over the place, because anybody who's worked with a coach or a consultant for years and years and years and said, why am I still not making money? You understand the concept of squirreling. You just maybe haven't thought about it. It's because you keep changing focus. You're not really going here. You're not really going there. You're just not getting things done. You know what needs to be done, but something's not quite right and you're not getting it there. So pick those 3 things and then break it down into those monthly steps, because that gets you focused on actually taking action. Everything that works well, it's all done within that action. Once you break those steps down, block out time in your calendar. So if you say, well, every week I have to reach out to at least 5 new potential prospects a day. Well, then block out time in your 2026 calendar. If that's an hour worth of time, go block it in your calendar now for 2026 and say, this is my client time. This is my prospect time. And make sure that you have that time blocked out and hold yourself to what you put in your calendar. Don't put it in your calendar and turn around and go, oh, well, not today. I'm not going to do that today. I'll do it tomorrow. It's in my calendar tomorrow too. No. Focused, actionable steps that you consistently do that bring you towards your goal. So break them down into those monthly steps and then add them to your calendar. Then the next tip is to review that every single week. So if you said Monday through Friday, we'll stick with the 5 reach outs. So the 5 prospects, 5 new leads every day. At the end of the week, every day, did you reach out to 5 or more new leads every day? If you didn't, why? It's not a bad thing. Stuff happens, life happens. So give yourself some grace and let yourself know, okay, well, this Friday, you know what? I didn't actually meet that goal. Why didn't I meet that goal? Well, because this happened. It was a holiday week. We had 2 days off or whatever it is. There's stuff that happens that will interrupt some of your stuff. Some of it's valid. Some of it's like, yeah, I just didn't feel like doing it. And if that's the case, well, why didn't you feel like doing it? It's what you need to do to move your needle forward in your business. So why didn't you feel like doing it? There's something behind that. If you're not building the business that you want, if you're not where you want to be right now, there's a reason for that. There is either something holding you back, help that you need that you haven't got yet, knowledge that you need that you haven't got yet. There's something that is holding you back. It could be that it's not ready yet. You really want it, but the time is really not right. There's all kinds of different reasons that you don't get things done. But you need to actually stop and look at what are those reasons if you want to actually hit your goals. So come Friday, if you say, yeah, no, I didn't actually get done what I wanted to get done this week, ask yourself why. Don't beat yourself. Just say, well, why didn't I get it done? Well, you know what? I decided to slack off, and it was it was summer and it was really nice, and I decided to take a couple afternoons off and go hiking. That's not a bad thing. All you did was change things around. So now you need to get refocused back on the goals. So the following week, you get refocused. So if you do that and you break that goal down, you put it in your calendar, and then you review it every Friday, it keeps you consistently moving forward, even if you didn't really meet the goals that week. And that's okay, because there will be weeks like that. And then last but not least, be honest about what you have to let go. There's a lot of things that we do on a regular basis that we do out of habit, and we do because we think we should be doing them. And they aren't really things that we should be doing. They aren't bringing us closer to our goal. They're actually maybe hindering us from reaching our goal. If you find yourself in a continuous pattern of every Friday for a month, you're going, yep, didn't reach him this week, didn't reach him this week, didn't reach him this week, chances are pretty good that there's something that you need to let go. There's something in there that you need to let go. And maybe it is your goal needs to be revised. Maybe your goal is a little bit too ambitious. And even though you really wanted it, you're not quite going to get it because you're not there yet. Think of all the people who go to the gym. And January 1st, what happens? Everybody and their brother gets a gym membership. They all go to the gym. I think the statistics say within 6 weeks, more than 50% of them stop going. And most of them keep paying. So think about that. Are you doing that with your business? Are you getting all revved up and going, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then fizzle out? If you fizzled out, then it wasn't that important to you to get it done. So when you're picking those 3 goals, make sure that those are goals that you are passionate about. You really want to hit these goals in 2026. And then make sure that you break them down into manageable bites. So if you say, I want to have 20 new clients by the end of the year, or I'm launching this new program and I'm allowing 100 people into my new program next year in 2026, and I want to have a waiting list for that program. If that's your goal, there are monthly steps. There are weekly things that you need to do. There are daily things that you need to put into your calendar in order to accomplish that goal. Put them in. If it feels like it's all of a sudden too ambitious, maybe it's okay, well, I was thinking 100 people is what I wanted in there, but it's probably more realistic for 50 or maybe 25 or something like that. Adjust it accordingly based on where you are and where you want to go. Remember, this isn't the be all end all. This is just 2026. Then there's 2027. Then it's 2028. The goal is to continuously move the needle forward and keep moving your business up. So set your goals accordingly. They don't have to be a big, huge, we talk about the big, hairy, audacious goal, the BHAG, that BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goal. Yeah, you can have a big, huge goal, but that goal might be a 5-year goal. And over the next 5 years, you're planning to get you to that goal. You look at that and you say, okay, I'm going to set this goal. How am I going to get there? Yeah, I want to make 6 figures. I want to make 7 figures. I want to make my first $1 million year. I want to have my first $1 million year. Well, if you're just starting out, maybe that's not realistic. Might be realistic. Sure it is in 5 years if you set the goals. So this is the time of year. This is the time to get this done. This is time to think about, what do I want to do? Who do I want to be? How do I want to show up in the new year? And start planning for that so that you can create the best 2026 ever. Create your best year yet by doing just a little bit of planning and setting some goals. You'll be surprised how much just a little tiny bit of planning can help keep you focused and consistent so that you actually start reaching those goals. That's what I've got for you this week. We'll see you next week on Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Bye for now.